since we can't go outside, what better time than now to film myself doing my makeup and putting it on the internet. Alright, so this is just like an everyday kind of look. I don't usually wear this much makeup, but if I'm going out, I'm not going to work, I'll take that extra time. So first off, I'm going to start out with a base. So I'm using the L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base. I really like this one because it has silicone in it. And I know a lot of people are not a big fan of silicone in their primer, but I am because I like how it fills out my pores and I just like the look of it. So I'll just rub it in, really press it into my pores, and once that is all in, I will use a concealer. And I have two concealers. I have the Fit Me by Maybelline, and I have the Make No Mistakes. It's just the Sephora brand. I'm going to be using that one today, and I really like this one because it's very thick and you have to warm it up in between your fingers. And then pat it under my eyes. And concealer is really like one of the most important steps for me because I have pretty bad dark circles. It's just, I get sleep, I drink a lot of water, it's just something I've always had, so I'm just learning to deal with it. And with the damp beauty blender, I'm just gonna blend that all in. I used to use the beauty blender like dry because I didn't know any better. And once I realized everyone was, dampening that, it surprised me how much better it worked once I used it correctly. I just pat that in. And I know my dark circles are still showing through. There's not much I can do about it, so instead of really caking it on, I'm just going to embrace them. Once that's all blended out, it's time for me to use my foundation. So I don't really like using liquid foundations. I prefer powders just because liquid just kind of looks cakey on me, and with the Florida heat, I don't like the whole melting foundation look. So I'll use the powder instead. And so I have two powders I use. I've used this forever, like forever. It's the MAC Studio Fix in color NC35. I really love this. It's my tried and true. But recently I've been using the Bare Minerals, just the regular, original Bare Minerals, and my color is medium beige. And I've been liking this because it's a little less matte, it's a little more dewy, and more natural looking. Just take a little and blend that in. And I don't like to put the powder foundation directly on my nose, just because I learned this trick where if you don't put foundation on your nose, it looks more natural, like you're not wearing foundation. I don't know if that's true, but for me it works better because I sweat sometimes, and like the foundation on the nose when you're sweating, it's not so cute. So I just avoid that, and I don't really put a lot there or at all. Go on my forehead, and I just blend and blend. And this is kind of similar to the concealer, where this powder foundation works better with the warmth of your skin. So the more you blend it in, the warmer it gets, it kind of like melts into your skin. Hi, Teddy. My dog is probably like, why are you talking to yourself? Just let him do his thing. And so I didn't really go too much in the under eyes because since I already have the concealer there, I'm just gonna use like a translucent powder instead and just set that. Very lightly. Blending, and we're blending. And then I like to take my big fluffy brush and just go ham. Really blend, 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 blend. Blend it down here, blend it into your... Now that my face is set, now we're gonna do some more colorful things. Bronzer. So I use the Hoola Benefit bronzer, just, you know, the mini, because these last so long. Why would you buy the full-size one? I've had this for like 2 years and I still have a lot left. So when you can, buy the minis. When it comes to like bronzer, blush, even eyeshadow, they last a long time, so you don't have to spend the extra money for the full-size one. Just get the mini. Put that here. I don't like to put too much on because I don't like that contoured look. I just want to look a little sun-kissed, especially now since we can't really do much outside. Then after I do that, I'll take the fluffy brush again and just blend. Okay, now it's time for blush, and I have two. It's kind of dirty. I have the Anastasia. This one's called Pool Party. It's pretty. This is really the only color I use. These two are just, they're just sitting there. And then I have the Bare Minerals. Again, another mini. And I'm going to be using this one. I really like it. This is the color Mauve Sunrise. Swirl that in there with my blush brush. It's difficult to say. Well, at least for me, but I'm always messing up my words, so. Where I place the blush is above my cheekbones. I know people usually put it here, but I like to put it up here because it kind of creates the illusion of having high cheekbones. I don't know if it works, but this is how I do it. And then I'll put a little on my nose, just a little. And next we have highlighter. So I don't wear highlighter always, but sometimes I will. And I have the Wet n Wild highlighter in the color Precious Petals. Just the basic one. Works though. Tiny bit, like not even noticeable. That's how little I use. I'm not a big fan of the blinding look, so that's all I'll use. Right? So once we have that, it's time for eyeshadow. And I'm gonna be using this palette from Mally. It's called Mallywood. It's really pretty. Just kind of some reds and neutrals. And I'm gonna be using the color Iconic and Fierce. And I'm not the best with eyeshadow, so I don't really go crazy with it. Even though I'd like to be one of those people who can do amazing things with eyeshadow, I am not. That's okay. And then go into the color Fearless. And just on the inner corners. I put the darker color on the outside, the shimmery one on the inside, like most people do. And right now I'm sitting on the floor crisscross and my foot is falling asleep, so I need to adjust myself or else I'll be very uncomfortable. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I just had to adjust myself. So we have the eyeshadow on. What am I gonna do next? Brows. So with my brows, I use this, it's so tiny I need to get a new one soon. The Rimmel London Brow This Way in like dark brown. It's very cheap, but I really like it. And I used to use the Anastasia like brow pencil that's like $20, and it would run out so fast, it would always break. And you know, the pencils just, they work so much better. So now I'm back to the pencils. And I am just using a very light hand when it comes to my brows. Ooh, I forgot to brush them out first. That's important. But mistakes happen. All right, go to the next brow. Brows are definitely one of the harder things for me to do, but you can't rush it. You just have to take your time, because if you rush it, they usually don't turn out that good. And I know, because I've done that. All right, and so usually I'll stop here, but I'm gonna use this Anastasia brow gel. I don't like the brow pencil, but I do like the brow gel. And it actually works a bit better when it dries up a little. Like when it's fresh out of the tube, like really wet, it's kind of hard to use, but if you let it just dry out, it's helps it like texturize better. So I take a lot off because it's pretty potent. Then with a very light hand, I go in and I stroke the hairs. And you really need to use a light hand because this could get scary pretty quick. You could have like villain eyebrows with this if you're not too careful. And I like this because it helps my eyebrow hair look a bit thicker. It's like dry shampoo but for your eyebrows. It's very nice. All right, once I've done that, I'll just brush it out again. Voila. My eyebrows are on. I'm starting to look like a person again. And the next step is, in my opinion, for me, the most important. It's eyeliner, and I use the Rimmel London Scandal Eyes. I've normally always used the Stila one that's like $20 from Sephora, but this one works pretty well, and it claims to be 24 hours. I don't know about that, but it's long wearing. I believe it's waterproof, and I always have to get waterproof eyeliner just because they work so much better. My eyeliner is not always perfect, so excuse me, I'm gonna try to do it. So I normally don't take it all the way to my inner waterline because I just like to stop in the middle because it kind of creates the illusion that they're larger. That's what I've heard, but I like doing it. So let's do the other eye. It's gonna be rough. Okay. Okay. This one's like winged out. This one's not. Let's try to fix it. Not the best, but that's what I can do. And so once I have the top eyeliner, I do put eyeliner under my eyes. And I go in with a light hand. And I know a lot of people don't recommend doing that, and I somewhat agree. I think it depends. If you have very light hair or fair skin, putting black eyeliner under your eye is gonna be a bit harsh, but if you kind of have like dark hair, a little tanner, olive skin, kind of like me, you can pull it off. This is never neat. My eyeliner is never neat. It's just kind of on there, but that's okay. Okay, that's the best I can do. And so you let that dry, and then eyelashes. This freaks out my husband when I use this. Kind of freaks out everyone if you're not used to doing your makeup, the eyelash curler. But once you know how to use it, it's a pretty helpful step. And with mascaras, I've not been able to find one that I really like. I have these three. I have the classic Maybelline. I have this one from Smashbox, Full Exposure. And I have this one from Kiko Milano. You can't get this in the US, you can only get it in Europe. It's pretty good. So I'm gonna start out with Kiko one. I probably spend the longest time putting on my mascara just because I really like the look of just long lashes. My eyes are like my kind of favorite feature of my face, so I kind of accentuate them as much as I can. I'll have the, you know, what do they call it, like the spider leg lashes. I'll do that sometimes. And the older I get, the more I realize I do my makeup similar to my mom, because my mom has really big eyes and she'll do the eyeliner like all around. She'll do like really long lashes, never fake lashes. She'll just put a lot of mascara on, and I kind of live by that notion. I've never worn false lashes, and I mean, they look good on other people, but I could never. I just know myself, and I probably would really I would probably just screw it up and look crazy. And like, what if it's really windy outside? Do they like fly off? And normally this is when people would stop, but I'm gonna keep going. I also put it under on my bottom lashes, which is another thing people say you shouldn't do, but I do it. Still going. All right, and the last thing I do is, I don't always do this, especially if I'm like going to work. I never put on lip products, but today we will. So I'm gonna put on a lip liner. It's from Ulta, and the color is Bittersweet. And I'm pretty new to lip liners. I'm not that great. Let's just try. And I don't put it on perfectly in the center because I'm gonna put some lipstick on it over anyways. And lipstick, been using this one a lot. It is the Maybelline Matte, and it's the color Almond Rose. Really like this one. And with the lipstick, I don't put it on like that. I pat it in. My lip liner doesn't look that great, but that's okay. And so another thing I like to do, which is kind of crazy, but it's another trick, is at the end, and I'll carry my lipstick around with me throughout the day and do this. I'll put a little bit on, and I'll take the same lipstick and I'll just dab it on my cheeks. Blend it out. With the same finger, go to the corner of my eyes. And just put a little bit of red there. And it's just something I like to do. All right, I think I'm done. And I have a setting spray. It's the Wet n Wild one, but this one breaks. It doesn't really squirt out. And I don't even know if setting spray really works, so we're gonna skip it. This is the final look. Simple, everyday look that I like to do. And yeah, I don't think it's too hard. This was pretty fun. And who knows if I'll make more videos, but for today, I felt like doing this, so here we go. My everyday makeup look. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!